How in the world are you supposed to know who to pick as your sponsor at EXP? How do you know what group to join? I want to talk about that and help answer that very important question today. And here's the thing, EXP is a fantastic company, so many amazing things about it. And the best thing about it, in my opinion, is revenue share. The fact that the company allows you as an agent who's already at the company to go out and recruit and attract other agents. And if they come to the company, for you to get a little piece of what EXP gets paid, that has caused this environment where all the agents at EXP are scrambling to provide as much value as possible so that they are the obvious choice, right? Like, of course, I want everybody who comes to EXP to sign up under me because I've got the coolest, best stuff, right? So that's really amazing because now we're all sort of racing to beat each other at who provides the most value. That's the kind of company that I want to be a part of. And so I joined a while ago and I have loved it here. And I decided I want to, all these people who are trusting me as their sponsor, and then the people who I sponsored, they're recruiting people. And we started to get like bigger and bigger. And I was like, okay, we need a name. We got to call ourselves something, right? And I thought long and hard about it and decided to call us the Abundant Agents. You can see my shirt here, Abundant Agents. And that's built on the idea that we want to live in abundance. Abundance to me is the idea that we get so much that we actually have extra to pour out into other people and to give away. It's when Jesus came, they said, why did you come? What are you doing here, man? And he said, I have come to give life and life abundantly. And I love that idea so much that it just overflows. And so what I want to talk about today is what we as the Abundant Agents have created to share the wealth, right? We've gotten a lot of freedom. Thankfully, I've had a lot of success in real estate, as have many of the members of our group. And so we're always working to add more. And I want to share today exactly what we do to help everybody in our group enjoy that abundance. And so I'm just literally going to walk through my website and kind of all the different resources we have that we provide exclusively to the people in our group. So EXP's got all kind of cool stuff, right? This is not that. Like that's another video. This is really about what do we provide and how do we help the agents in our group. And when I say we, I mean we. You'll notice that everything I'm showing here is on a public website, right? And that was so important to me. I didn't just want to create this environment where I was attractive, like people wanted to join me as their sponsor. Of course, that's part of it. But I wanted to create an environment that was very scalable, meaning anybody in my group could utilize all these same resources and promote all these same resources very easily so that they could attract people. Because I can only, sponsor so many people, right? Like many groups at EXP, the biggest group at EXP is up to like 20,000 people. The guy who sponsored, all those, he couldn't sponsor 20,000 people, right? He sponsored about 60, 70. And then those people sponsored people who sponsored people, et cetera. So you have to create an environment where everyone in that group, all the way up to tens of thousands of people, benefit, not only benefit, but are able to help other people benefit, right? Like there's this, don't give a man a fish, teach him to fish. Well, even better than that is to teach a man to fish. Like how can we expand in this idea of abundance so that everyone can benefit? And so you'll notice all this is a video that anybody in my group could very easily create, because all this stuff is available to them as well. And that's really, really an important little differentiator. And I'll explain that more as we go here. First of all, you've got to have a framework. How are you going to pick what group you want to join? Well, in my opinion, there's two things that matter. One, you want to join a group of people who will help you achieve freedom now, like kind of freedom in the present, right? Because you can say, oh, well, I want to sell more houses or I want to work less or what. Everyone has different goals, right? At the end of the day, it's really freedom. Like we want to be able to do what we want to do and to be able to enjoy what it is we're up to. So you want to have freedom now. And in my mind, that is selling more houses, right? That revenue at some level increases your freedom as long as you're not just working more and more, right? So the second part of that is working a little bit less or having more freedom in what you do work on. So selling more homes and having more freedom to do the things at work that you really enjoy and to leverage other people or other resources so that you don't have to do things you don't want to enjoy, right? So you got to pay the bills, right? You need freedom now. And to do that, you got to sell houses. So you want to join a group that'll help you sell more houses and ideally work a little bit less while you sell more houses. So that's thing number one. Thing number two is I would join a group that will help you provide yourself freedom and your family freedom in the future. So how do you get to a place where you're off the transaction treadmill if you want to be off of it and you've got a passive income stream that will provide for you and your family? And if you want to stop, you can stop. If you want to take a month off or a year off or 10 years, you can do that, right? How do you find a group that can help you do that as well? And that's achieved through recruiting agents to EXP and revenue share. Now, some people aren't interested in that. That's not for them. That's totally fine. I get that. And some people, maybe they're not interested now. Like they're not in a place where they're trying to think about the future. They're just trying to get things done today. I get that. I totally understand that. but that may change down the road. So I would say that should be an important part of your decision making, even if today you're like, I don't really care about recruiting, man. Okay, great. Pick somebody who can help you sell a lot of houses. That's awesome. But in the back of your mind, know that you may come to a point where you really are interested in building that revenue share deal. And here's the way I look at this is, if you need business today, right, you've got to go sell houses, but why not plant a tree today, or 2 trees or 5 trees or whatever? Trees don't produce a whole lot of fruit right away, but in a year, 2 years, or 5 years from now, you'll be really glad you planted that tree. So join a group who can help you kind of plant some trees that future you will be really glad you planted. So I'm going to explain how our group, the Abundant Agents, provides both of those things: how to sell more houses and how to plant those trees that eventually bloom into passive income that allows you to get off the transaction treadmill. So first of all, how do you sell more homes? These are all things that are exclusive to our group. And this is the Monday Mastermind. So the Monday Mastermind is put on by Dan Beer and Kyle Whistle, who are in my upline. So this is a resource they have created that is phenomenal. And it's every Monday. It's, hundreds and hundreds of agents get on there and explore current topics that will help you sell more homes in a mastermind format. And the contribution is typically, there's questions being asked by agents at all these different levels. And they're typically answered by agents who are very successful. I get on there as many Mondays as I can, so do a lot of other top producers, to help add more to the pile. How do we help agents solve their problems? That happens every single Monday. That's a private mastermind that is exclusive to people who are in Dan and Kyle's downline. And we are a part of that downline. That group is called the Fast Forward Movement. So we're a little sub branch of that movement. And so that's something that's exclusive to our group that will help people sell more houses today. Also, I send out weekly agent tips. So I run a great team. We sell hundreds and hundreds of houses every year. I'm in 3 different states. And of course, to do that, you've got to be good at selling houses, right? So I've sold thousands of houses in my career and helped lots and lots of agents sell hundreds of homes as well. And so we have, every week I send out an email with different tips, what I'm working on, things I'm learning. And a lot of those tips you can find if you check out the Agent Resources tab here at the top. That will show you the kinds of topics that I'm emailing out every single week. How to find off-market properties, how to turn a virtual tour buyer into a rock-solid client, stuff like that. How to sell more houses, right? How to go get some deals done, and all kind of topics that I'm sending out and coaching people on every single week. Then we got events. Events have changed my life. Going to real estate events will change you. You get around people, your mind expands, you learn. There's great content from up front. This is one that, as I'm filming this video, is coming up soon. Tony Robbins conference. And so, always want to make sure we get as many people as possible to the events. Now, anybody can go to those events, literally anybody. You don't even have to be at EXP. So what does this have to do with the Abundant Agents and what we provide? Well, we don't just go to the event. We get serious. All right. So I wanted to pull up a couple cool things that we do for our group when we go to these events. First of all, here's our agenda. So there's the event itself, right? Of course, we're going to go to the event and do the stuff, but we've also got all kind of really fun stuff. We're going to private dinners. We've got the pool cabana, the party cabana booked at the pool. And that's all just fun stuff. All these dinners, we reserve it ahead of time. I've got tables set up and I organize all the people. We've got to this particular event, we got about 40 people coming, and I set the tables and prearrange seating to make sure that everyone's sitting next to somebody that they can learn from, that they can grow from. We create agendas like this to help people stay organized and know what's coming so they don't feel alone and lost at these groups. And I've got 40 people coming. Most people just kind of show up to the event. Maybe they invite a few folks. We do it big. We go really big and we make sure it's an awesome, awesome time for everyone. And then we do stuff like this. Hey, you're going to go to an event, but it doesn't really help you if you don't come home with actionable plan. How do I take all this stuff I learned and put it into action? So we have a framework for that. And we provide these little workbooks when everyone shows up to the event. Hey, what's the idea? What's the value of the event? And we've got a little code here of how to categorize and how to figure out what should I do first? What should I do last? We have little resources like that we add to people just to make sure that they have a great experience. We're getting feedback on the event. What could we do better? What would make it a 10? We're just taking what would be something that, you could just show up to, and we're making it way more intentional, way more fun, way more specific, and providing all the resources to help you grow when you actually go to the event. In addition, let's say you've come over to the Abundant Agents and you're working on, you've got a few recruits, a couple of people you recruited, and you kind of forget to invite them to the event, or you didn't know the event was coming. It's my job to make sure everybody in my group knows about these events. And so here's the back end of my systems, right? This system called Infusionsoft. And when I figured out that the Tony Robbins event was coming up, I made sure everybody in my group knew about it. I've got them all in this database, and started sending out emails, right? Wanted to make sure that everyone, the way I got 40 people to come was I hit them over the head with the event. Don't miss this event. It's going to be amazing. Here's the first email I sent. And if you don't open that email, we've got another reminder we send you, to bump that thing to the top of you. Like, I go crazy with these things. Like, I don't want to just, I'm just going to go. Maybe I bring a few people. I want to go and bring as many people as possible. And I want to automate it so that you and anybody that you recruit down the road is going to for sure know about the best events that happen, because I make sure it happens. And what I've got is a really, really great team of human beings, all of my amazing virtual assistants that work for our team. We've got several of them who are dedicated to helping with EXP stuff. And with my abundant agent stuff. And so what they're doing is every time we get new people who come over, because now my group is big enough to where lots of the people who join I've never met. And I want to make sure that they're on that list. They get the email about Tony Robbins. So we've got all these tasks. Here's just all the different tasks that my team is working on right now for EXP. And so I show you this to show you like my commitment to making this better all the time is serious. And I show that by the human capital and resources, and I'm paying these people to make sure that you have a great experience here at EXP. And so one of their jobs is every single day to check and see all the new people who join EXP and make sure that they get onboarded into our system so they know about all the cool stuff the abundant agents are doing. That's critical because it means you don't have to do it. So if you recruit someone and they recruit someone and they recruit someone, I built the whole system assuming nobody would remember to do this. So it's all automatic. I took on the responsibility, and this is stuff that I want to make sure all of your recruits and that you get to experience. And so here is our new agent signed up campaign. And you can see it's like all this crazy stuff, right? And we really, really intentionally get everybody into the funnel so that they can learn what it is that we have going on. So I'll give you a couple examples of that. So here's an email we send out, and we send a text message out, we send an email. And this email is designed to let people know about community. So community is another thing that we have as a resource, and it's getting people to opt in. And so all the people who join in the Abundant Agents and the people who you recruit, right, they're all going to get this email and several reminders to say, hey, opt into community, opt into community. And what that allows me to do is send out text messages at mass, and I send about 1 or 2 a week of like the most important stuff happening. So like the conferences, whatever. Today I just sent out this quick message. Hey, I just posted an awesome training on thriving in this market, right? I did a 2-hour live training. We finally got it uploaded to the website, and I wanted to make sure everybody in my group knew about it because, we're in a market shift right now, and I did a training on how to thrive in that market. I wanted to make sure everybody knew about it. So I send it out in community. That way it doesn't get missed, right? Emails get missed sometimes, whatever, but people always check their text messages. So this allows me to, at scale, send text messages. And right now in this group, we've got 85 people. And in a year, I bet it'll be 400 or 500. And in a couple of years, it'll be thousands. And this allows me to continue to do what I'm doing, even when we get to like thousands and thousands of people. So it's just one of the things that we have people opt into. We also opt them into my weekly emails and all kind of stuff. We make sure that they feel welcomed, included, and that they're in the channels required to make sure that they get communicated with. So we got great events going on. We make sure people get invited to those and nobody gets missed. All right, let me show you the partner resources. So this, you have to have a password. You have to be in the group to get. I've already logged in here. But once you get in the group, you get a password to all these resources, which are always continually growing. One of the most important resources we have is Ashley. Ashley is an amazing, amazing human being. She works directly with me as my executive assistant, and she's also our onboarding angel. And this role, she may not always have this role as we grow. We'll probably have other team members helping her as well. But she's helping onboard people. Coming over to a new brokerage it's no fun. It's a train wreck. It's hard. So we want to make it easy. And how do you make something easy? Well, you have a concierge. You have somebody who helps you walk through this in a very, thoughtful, kind way. And so she will help you onboard into the Abundant Agents, and she'll help you onboard anybody who you recruit. So now you can, with confidence, bring people over, know they're going to have a white glove, a bespoke experience where they come over and it's catered to them. They get connected to all this cool stuff. They get onboarded to community. They get onboarded into our Slack channel, all the other stuff. So we want to make sure you have a great onboarding experience. So Ashley is provided at no charge, and that's exclusive to our group. I just talked about those text updates that I do in community. Here's a really cool one too, Trainual. So if you click on this right here, what that's going to do is talk you to a video that explains how Trainual works. And Trainual is my internal team system that shows everybody at my team how to run a business, right? So we talk how to run a real estate business. So if you go to Trainual here, you'll see it's kind of like the owner's manual of a real estate team. And so here we've got, for example, and you have the same login my team does, you've got access to, like, let's, for example, working with buyers. So you pop this open. Oh, here's our buyer book materials, full-length training on working with buyers, calling back leads, pre-selling yourself, all, like, everything that we have. And you have access to listing appointments, buyer presentations. And this is, again, exclusive to the Abundant Agents. This is my team and how we've achieved the success we've achieved, selling hundreds and hundreds of homes every single year. And you have access to 100% of that material. So that's Trainual, and you'll get locked into that as well. We also have bi-weekly training on agent attraction. So if you want to learn how to be a great recruiter, we have a training on exactly how to do that. It's live and it's every other week. And here's how you get tuned into that. We also have this postcard thing we do where it's the most beneficial postcard I've ever found. And my team will, and it's a referral generating postcard, and my team will create these for you every single month and send them over to you with your name, your picture, your email. You can learn more about that here and get all signed up so that we can start sending those to you. And again, anybody you recruit has access to this as well. It's all super scalable. And then we've got my weekly tips, which I already talked about, but here's a really cool resource, is the fact that you can opt in a recruit. So let's say you're talking to somebody, and many people who are going to come to EXP, it takes a while, right? They get whatever, for whatever reason, they're in no hurry, but you want to stay in front of them. And so what I do is I do these great weekly emails to help you grow your business. So you can opt somebody in to those emails, and you put your name and email and all that stuff in here. And here's what's really critical is, let's say that person 6 months from now is like, dang, this Abundant Agent thing sounds cool. John's got a lot of awesome stuff. I'm going to reply back to John and ask him about joining EXP. Well, every single time I get an email like that, I look up in my little system, where did this person come from? And if this person came from you, the first thing that's going to happen is you are going to get an email back with that person that say, hey, let's jump on a call. You know, Sam introduced you to me a couple months ago. I'd love for the three of us to jump on a call and chat about what it might look like to join the Abundant Agents. And that person would be sponsored by you. One of my core philosophies is whoever in my group is the person who introduced the person to me, that's who they get sponsored. Like, I would never, ever in a million years take advantage of the fact that someone had like plugged someone into my system and like become their sponsor. The reality is it's always better for the person to be sponsored by whoever introduced them, because that person, let's say it was you. Now, if you're the sponsor of the person who comes to EXP, they get the benefit of being connected to you, having a bit of a relationship with you. Even if it's a minimal relationship, that's okay. You're still connected somehow. You somehow pointed them to me. They get all the stuff I'm talking about, that all these resources you can provide to them, and they get access to you and all the amazing things that you can do to help them grow. Even if you're a brand new agent, I promise there's things you can add to the equation that I don't have. So I always want the person to be sponsored by whoever made the introduction. And I've built every system I have to figure out, okay, who's responsible for this introduction so that they get the credit. So you've got that great resource. There's a big Hawaii event we have coming up. And then the last one I'm going to show you is Slack. And Slack is a really great tool if you haven't used it. Here's our Abundant Agents Slack here. And it's a business version of like a Facebook group, which is, hey, we've got all these people in the group. And what we can do is share ideas, ask questions, get questions answered from, all, like open houses. Like, let's say what we create is these little geographies based on where you are. So as we develop different, like Phoenix and San Diego and Washington, all these different places, we create what are called channels for those. So the people in that geography can share open house opportunities. They can share coming soon listings, that kind of thing. And then we've got all kind of tips and tricks on how to sell more houses. Oh, like today, for example, I posted I did a post that, hey, here's that full recording of the live presentation I did on how to thrive in this market. So I posted that in the Slack channel to be sure that all the people in the Abundant Agents knew all about that. People can also ask questions of each other, get questions answered. It's a great way to create community and for people to feel connected, to get all their resources they need and to get questions answered, that kind of thing. So that is our Slack channel. So all that stuff is not part of being at EXP. It's a part of being in our group. And I'm super proud of what we've created, all the systems and stuff. And I'm especially proud of the fact that we've created it in a way to where it works for everyone. It works for 10,000 people if we get that big, and hopefully we will. So that's the way I would evaluate, okay, what group are you going to join? Can that group help me sell more homes? Can that group help me recruit if I decide to do that? And can they do it at scale? Can they do it in a way where it's not everybody has to be sponsored by John or whoever the leader of the group is, but there's a system in place to where everybody who gets sponsored by anybody in the group has access to the same amazing benefits, regardless of who their sponsor is, as long as they're within that group. That scalability is such a critical element of it as well. So hopefully that's helped you. If you are interested in joining our group, I would love to hear from you. Just reach out and let me know how you got connected, who introduced you to me, and we can chat about what that would look like next. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day.